Hello and welcome. Today we're jumping right into something that's absolutely critical for anyone in the oil and gas industry: how to best measure and manage your LPG inventory. You know, getting this right isn't just about numbers on a screen. It's really about safety, it's about efficiency, and of course, it's about your bottom line.
So if you're an engineering or a procurement manager, you live this every single day. You're responsible for these enormous pressurized vessels, the Horton spheres and mounted bullets. And knowing exactly what's inside them, well, that's a huge operational challenge. And picking the right technology for the job is a massive decision.
And look, this isn't just some academic exercise. We're actually framing this entire explainer around a real-world problem brought to us by a huge player in the industry, Bharat Petroleum. They needed the whole shebang, a complete inventory management solution. We're talking everything from the gauges on the tanks all the way to a high-tech tank farm management system with unlimited tags and these really flexible multi-protocol CIU systems which let you talk to all kinds of different instruments in the field. So, the big question is, what's the smartest way to gauge these tanks to support a system like that? Let's find out.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the traditional workhorse, the servo gauge. This is the electromechanical approach that's, well, been around forever.
So how does it work? It's pretty straightforward, really. You can see it in the diagram here. A motor lowers this little weight, they call it a displacer, down on a wire. The moment it just kisses the surface of the LPG, the tension on that wire changes, and the system says, aha, there's the level. It's a very physical, very direct way of measuring.
And to be fair, this tech definitely has its strengths. It's tough, it's been proven in the field for decades, and as long as you keep it maintained, it is super accurate and very reliable. For a very long time, this was absolutely the gold standard.
But, and this is a big but, what I love about this slide is the contrast it shows. On the left, you see the guts of a servo gauge. It's this incredibly complex little machine full of gears and springs and motors. Then on the right, you see what that complexity really means. An engineer having to do hands-on work out in the field. Because all those moving parts, sooner or later, they're going to need attention.
So this is where we get to the heart of the matter. The challenges are pretty big. These units are bulky, they're heavy. All those mechanical parts mean regular and often complicated maintenance. But here's the real deal breaker for existing facilities. To install one, you have to do major surgery on the vessel. We're talking cutting a big nozzle. And that means you have to get new approvals from regulatory bodies like PESO in India. So for retrofitting existing tanks, it ends up being a really poor choice.
All right, let's shift gears and look at something a lot more modern. Option 2 is the radar gauge. This is a non-contact technology, and honestly, it's a huge leap forward.
The idea behind this is just beautifully simple. The gauge sits on top of the tank and sends a tiny microwave signal down. That signal hits the liquid, bounces right back up, and the gauge measures exactly how long it took. From that travel time, it calculates the liquid level with incredible accuracy. And this is where you really see the advantages pile up. There are absolutely no moving parts. What does that mean? It means it's basically maintenance-free. It's also small, super lightweight, and the accuracy is just phenomenal. We're talking down to a single millimeter. And the best part? A lot of the time you can just install it on a small, existing nozzle. No major vessel modifications, no new PSO approvals. Now, it's not perfect, of course. To keep that amazing accuracy, you might need some external sensors to compensate for the vapor inside the tank. But the biggest hurdle from an operations standpoint is that you have to completely empty and degas the vessel to install it. That means planning for downtime. But even with that, it's still an excellent choice for a lot of situations.
Which brings us to the million-dollar question, right? Especially for a busy facility that just can't afford to shut down. What if you need to upgrade your gauging on a live, running vessel with basically zero disruption? What do you do then?
Well, the answer is a technology that is a complete and total game changer, the non-invasive gauge. Just look at how simple this is. The entire system is on the outside. These ultrasonic sensors are literally just clamped onto the wall of the tank. They send a signal through the steel, which then bounces off the liquid surface inside. Nothing ever has to break the seal of the tank. Zero contact with the LPG. It's amazing.
The benefits here are just incredible. It's fast, it's reliable, but the killer feature is this: you never have to open the tank. There's no cutting, no welding, no drilling. And that means, you guessed it, you can install the entire system while the tank is fully in service. You get a brand new, state-of-the-art gauging system with absolutely zero downtime.
So, we've looked at the big three technologies. What's the final verdict? What's our expert recommendation for retrofitting existing LPG tanks? Let's just put it all side by side.
This chart just makes it all crystal clear, doesn't it? Do you need to modify the vessel or get new peso approvals? Only for the servo gauge. What about installation downtime? It's high for the servo, moderate for the radar because of that degassing step, and for non-invasive, absolutely none. And maintenance? A huge factor for the mechanical servo, but next to nothing for radar and non-invasive. The data really does speak for itself.
So after looking at all that, the conclusion is pretty decisive. For the vast majority of retrofit jobs, where avoiding downtime and avoiding regulatory headaches are your top priorities, non-invasive technology is without a doubt the superior choice.
Okay, so the technology choice seems pretty clear. But you and I both know that even the most amazing tech is only as good as the team that puts it in. That's why picking the right partner, a team with real, deep experience in the field, is every bit as critical as picking the right gauge.
And this is really where expertise makes all the difference. I mean, look at this. The leadership team at Advanced Engineers alone brings, a combined century of hands-on experience in this exact field? That incredible depth of knowledge, plus a support team of over 30 qualified engineers, that's what allows you to make these kinds of expert decisions and, more importantly, get the job done.